Hello, my name is Zablan and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to create a meeting assistant using Google Antigravity. So the meeting assistant is going to be preparing our meetings and notifying us via email or Slack before the meeting starts. So before we get started, we need to head over to Google Antigravity and download the software, and then we can get started. So once you've downloaded the software of Google Antigravity, you'll come across this section. So it's very easy to use. So over here on the on this file, so you have the open folder section. So this is where you will either create a new file, a new folder, or you can use the existing one. So as you can see, I've created some before, but so for the purposes of this video, I'll create a new folder. So I'll click open new folder, and then I'll put it somewhere that I like, and then I'll also allow the agent to work on my files. So by saying yes, I authorize it. And then over here on the left hand side, we have the Explorer. So this is where you put your files and folders. And in the middle, you have your agent manager. So this is where the agent is going to be pasting the files that it's working on. It will also put in the implementation plan. Then over here at the right hand side is where you interact with your agent. So you are able to choose between different modes. So for the purposes of this video, I'll start with planning, because I want the agent to think fast before it can start running my tasks. But you can also go with fast depending on how you want, but fast mode is usually recommended for for simple tasks. And then for the purposes of this video, I'll just use Gemini 3 Flash, because it's it's not a hard task. All right, so after we have done that, so we're gonna create a new folder over here. So by clicking more actions and then new folder, so we're gonna call this dot agent. So we are gonna try to give this agent some skills, on how to handle our meetings. So we're gonna give it some skills by creating these folders, and then we're gonna put in a markdown for the agent to review. So we're gonna call this folder.agent, and then inside this one, we're gonna create another folder. We're gonna call this skills. So we're gonna call this skills, then click enter again. So inside skill, create another folder called meeting prep. Sorry, meeting prep. Okay. So inside meeting prep, we're gonna create a markdown. We're gonna call this skill.md. So this is where we're gonna paste in our markdown for the agent. So this is basically like the brain of this this project that you're working on. So we're gonna call this skill. It's gonna be in caps. So skill.md. All right. So and then here is where we're gonna paste what we want the agent to look at. So I'm gonna paste in the markdown that I have for my agent so that it can look at it. Okay, so I've come up with a markdown that I give the agent, and I got this markdown from Google Gemini. I'll also leave it in the in the comment section for you guys to look at it, and if you like it, you can also adopt it for your for your video or for your training purposes. So this, when you look at this, the name is the meeting prep. Description: it scans Google Calendar for upcoming meetings and summarizes linked documents using a Google Cloud, using a cloud-hosted fast API microservice on Render. So basically what I did, I have a microservice that I created using Google Antigravity, and then I host it on Render. So I'm probably gonna link it up later so that the agent is gonna be communicating with my microservice that I created on Render. So I don't have to open my computer. So it's hosted online. So it enables me to get communications even though my computer is offline. It's free, and I'll show you guys on another video how to create this. It's free, but there are different other services that you can use. You can use Render or Railway. There's so many that you can use. So the goal is to provide a full brief for every meeting in the next 24 hours by extracting URLs from descriptions and attachments and sending them to a summarization microservice. So the microservice, I told you, I have it on Render. So the instructions I have, I'm going to run a scripts.calendar sync, and then to fetch meetings, today's meetings, and then for each meeting, identify all URLs in the description or attachment. So it's going to give me the attachments and the links that for the meeting. It's going to prepare me before I go into the meeting. So this is very important if you have a company that you're running and you have a meeting assistant who gives you, daily briefs. You basically don't need that anymore, because you can have this agent that is preparing you for the meetings, gives you all the instructions that you need so that you can able to get clients. So it ensures that you are basically well prepared for the meeting. So call the render microservice and url.env using the JSON key provided. I already provided the JSON key, and then format full brief report including meeting title and time, participant list, summary of each, and then present the report in a clean markdown format. So the constraints are basically the rails that I don't want it to go outside of that. So do not ignore meetings without links. Provide a basic brief for those. Use the render URL from the environment variables. I already gave my render URL, so it will use it. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do is paste in the prompt and then interact with the agent. Okay, so guys, I came up with a prompt that I gave the agent. I basically got this prompt from Google Gemini. And so look at it. I need to build a meeting prep skill for my daily business activities. Please act as my developer and scaffold this project. So step 1, create a Python script calendar, and that uses the official Google API Python client. It needs to authenticate using a service account and fetch all events from my primary Google Calendar for the next 24 hours. And then so step 2, ensure that the script extract these specific fields: meeting title, start or end time, attendee list, description, and attachment URLs. Step 3, create the scale.md file if not provided or don't like it. So I already provided it, but if it doesn't like this scale.md file, it can always create it by itself. Instruct the scale to run calendar sync.py. Take any URLs found and send a HTTP post request to my render microservice. And then the final output must be a full brief markdown report summarizing every meeting, even if no links were found. So step 4, create a requirements.txt file for the necessary Google library links and provide me with the terminal command to install them. This is very easy, guys, because when you look at it, I only gave the agent a prompt, and I created a few files over here on the left hand side. So the agent is gonna look at it, and then it's gonna come up with an implementation plan. So let's give it and then see what happens. Okay, so as I told you, when you're in planning mode, you are able to see what the implementation plan is. So this is basically what it's thinking, what it's gonna do. So in the planning and scaffolding, it's gonna create task.md and then create an implementation plan. And then script development is gonna create a requirement.txt, just like I told it, calendar sync. And then skill definition, skill.md file, integrate execution and run a microservice, finalization, provide installation commands, create a template and .env file. So I'm gonna create this .env file that the agent is gonna be using. So it's finished, and it sent me a message. So told me to open it. Okay, so basically this is what I'm actually looking at. So let's see how to run. Once the setup is complete, you can use the meeting prep skill. It will fetch all meetings for the next 24 hours, extract attendees, description, and then demo run attempt. I've attempted to run the script to verify dependencies since it's not yet present. So correctly output an error message which confirms the error. Okay, so I'll just tell it to go ahead and then go ahead and execute the plan. Please go ahead. The implementation plan. Okay, so I'm gonna give it my Google API key. Let's see what is done. So next steps for you: place your Google service account credentials in the root folder. Update the render microservice URL in env. Try running the scale to see your first brief. Check the walkthrough for more details. Okay, so I'll basically do that and then tell the agent to continue. So as you can see from our agent output, we need a calendar sync.py file. And then, so this basically means that we need to like give access, we need to give our agent access to our calendar. So in order to do that, you basically just head over to Google Console and let me show you how to do that. Just a minute. So you just head over to Google Console and then you're gonna create your credentials. So basically, when you look here, you have APIs and services, and then over here you have enable APIs and services. So I just created mine, but it's very simple. You click on APIs and services. As you can see, I've already created my AI agent masterclass, and so here I'll let's say I wanted to create a new one, so I'll just go Google Calendar. So you just look for the Google Calendar API, and then it's gonna pop up. So it's this one. And then if you haven't enabled it, and then you will enable it. So as you can see, I've already enabled mine, and then it will guide you on the steps to follow before you can download the JSON file that our agent needs. So once you downloaded the JSON file, you're gonna come and give it to the agent, and then the agent is gonna go ahead and then continue with the process. Okay, so I have already given access, I've already given my agent access to my file, the Google Calendar API that I created. So the next thing that it needs me to do is to run the scale as normally I would, and then on the first execution, check your browser to authorize access to your Google Calendar. So I need to see that if it has the authorization to monitor my Google Calendar. Then the next thing that says that your full brief reports will be generated automatically after. And then all setup steps, including dependency installations, are complete. Enjoy your automated meeting preparations. Okay, so we need to finish up this. So let's see what's the next thing to do. I need to look at my approval. So I need to give the agent approval to go ahead. So another thing that the agent needs from me is my render service microservice URL that I'm going to be hosting this application online. So I need to give the agent my microservice URL. So I'll go ahead and use the .env file that I have right here. So as you can see, the .env file is very important. This is where you keep your Google APIs, and this is also where you keep the important URL. So it's very encrypted, and that's why it's always recommended to use it. So I need to put my URL over here so that the agent can use it, and it should be a secret and nobody's supposed to have access to your .env file. No, your env file. Never post it online, even when you're pushing these apps online through GitHub. It's always recommended to never post your .env files because they have very crucial information. Like for example, your API, someone is gonna be running the applications using your APIs, and then you're gonna be paying so much money you don't even notice how that is happening, and you probably don't even have so much applications to run. So always keep a secret. Don't upload your .env files online, because people are always looking out for that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and encrypt my URL service so that the agent can look at it, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so as I was telling you, we needed to allow the agent to have access to our calendar, and in order to do that, I went to the Google API services, and then I created the authentication. I allowed the agent to have access to my account. So as you can see right now, I'm trying to go ahead and allow the agent to finish setting up my access. So the agent will be able to have access to my calendar and my email too. So I'll allow it by clicking here continue. So see when it says when you allow this access, Zablon will be able to see and download calendar. You can access using your Google Calendar, blah blah blah. Okay, so I'll click continue. You may close this window now. So I've already allowed the agent to have access to my Gmail and to my calendar. So the next thing now is for the agent to always set up meetings for me, and it will always notify me before a meeting starts. So we're gonna go ahead and then paste this the message that we got here from the Google Calendar. The authentication flow has completed. You may now close this window. So I went ahead and then pasted it for the agent. So the agent sent me this. So full brief, March 3rd, 2026. I have successfully synced your Google Calendar for the next 24 hours. So the meeting summary. No upcoming events. Your calendar is empty for the next 24 hours. System status, authentication. So I did everything as it wanted me to do. As soon as you add meetings to your primary calendar, you can run this scale again to get a full breakdown, attendees, attachments, and AI generated link summaries. So basically, guys, we've given the agent access to our calendar. So whenever we have a meeting that is set up, and the agent is able to brief us, provide us with a full brief and a link for everything. It's basically going to be sending it to our Gmail every morning. So I set it for every morning. It's going to be sending it to my email. It's going to send a brief and everything that I need to prepare for my meetings. So guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe and share my YouTube channel. I'll always post such videos that help people improve their workflow and to reduce time wastage in running day-to-day activities that are so repetitive. So please stay tuned for more videos like this, and share my YouTube channel, and also like my videos so that we can grow this channel together. All right, see you on the next video.